Hey guys, welcome back. We are playing Fiddlesticks today, one of the absolute strongest junglers you can play this patch. So you want to be starting with your W, that is your main damaging and healing ability that's going to help you clear out the jungle with. So to start off you want to auto attack one of the small wolves, and then you're gonna walk up to the blue buff, so you're gonna do 2 camps at once. And then you also have to make sure that you reposition once, because otherwise your wolves are going to reset. It does not matter if the small ones are resetting, just make sure that the big one does not. So your W actually does not need vision of the target. As long as they are within range, then it is going to form that tether, and that's why we can do the wolves and the blue buff at the same time. Your E is that ranged silencing ability. When clearing the jungle you mainly use it to get that aggro on a jungle monster so you can make it move towards you. So clear is pretty simple, you just spam your W, putting another point into that W for more damage and more healing as well. So when you get to the next camp, you want to E the red buff over the wall to make it move towards you. And then you have to auto attack one of the small raptors, and then you're gonna do these camps at once as well. Just stay in this position to make sure that the red buff or the raptors don't reset. And this is pretty much it for his clear, pretty simple. Just have to know the right spots to make sure that the camps don't randomly reset, because it is really going to mess up your clear. So your passive guys, you have this permanent trinket, the scarecrow effigy. Basically they give you vision, and it looks like a clone of you. They give you vision, and if an enemy champion face check them, then they're gonna perform a random move. And sometimes it can end up baiting up out their abilities or summon spells. And if you stand still for 2 seconds, then you can also make it look like you are an effigy. So I'm used to surprise people, but that passive trinket right there is actually really OP. It gives you vision as well. And once you hit level 6, then that effigy will also reveal wards and disable them. And also traps, like the Timus Shroom, so it becomes really OP at level 6. Your Q is that fearing ability. It has a fear on the passive and the active as well, so this champion does have a lot of disables. So normally you don't really want to fight people early on, guys, because it is a champion that needs to hit level 6. He's known for his ultimate, and that is what allows him to go for these plays and these ganks as well, so if possible you want to avoid fighting at all early game. And the clear I showed can actually be done a bit faster as well, but that is something you can practice once you get the basics down. So we did end up wasting a bit of time here, it does not matter much. Nunu is of course much stronger early game. He's just looking to spam ganking all the time. We want to get level 6, so the only thing we can do at this point is to spam his position and ping people back if we see him. Just gonna keep clearing here. So we want enough gold for tier 2 boots on the first base, that's why I did not recall after doing that full clear. We have enough gold for it right now, so we're just gonna do the Grum and then we can recall. So we are rushing tier 2 boots because it allows us to get to different parts of the map much faster. And the thing is, this gem guys is not reliant on damaging items early on in order for you to be able to clear out the camps with. And because he has so much sustain guys, then one health potion is enough, and then you can get that control ward that you should place defensively early game, because otherwise you just risk the opponent taking it out. So I actually use my control ward behind the red buff, the brush right behind it, so it's really OP that you can get these or get this start, because that vision is really useful. We're almost level 6, and until we get that level 6 then we're just gonna farm it out. You only want to look for ganks if there's a super free kill, otherwise you're just gonna AFK farm and hit that level 6 as fast as possible, and once you have it, that's when you can start ganking. Just getting some vision down for our teammates because Nunu is camping bot side. And of course make sure that you use that passive right there, because it does give you free vision, guys, so make sure to use it as often as possible and only place it in the most useful spots. So we did end up getting a free kill right here. CO extended, and that's of course really nice, because we're gonna hit level 6 after the next camp, and that's when we can really start doing stuff. Keep in mind that because you have so much sustain, you can also do the objectives early on, like the dragon for example, but against the Nunu it's very risky because he always has more damage, and he has guaranteed damage as well, so he can actually steal that dragon whenever he wants to. That is the ultimate, so you're gonna blink to nearby area, guys, and you're gonna deal a ton of AoE damage. If you manage to hit multiple opponents at the same time, you're gonna absolutely shred them. Just keep doing these multiple camps at once. Of course it is going to speed up your clear, so you level up faster and also get your gold faster, so you can buy your items and then get those power spikes. And you want the rocket belt as your first mythic item, as your first main item after the boots, because that active, it has a lot of flat magic pens, so of course it is good early game, but it also has that active, so after you use that ultimate, then you can use that active to make sure that nobody escapes. So when the ultimate is down, then you're just looking to farm it up. And whenever it is up, then you try to use it on cooldown, because it is really OP and most of the time it is going to secure you those kills. There are 4 people bot sides, of course. We're not really able to do much right here, so we ended up dying. That's a bit unfortunate. Get away a kill for no reason. We could just have recalled as well or clear out the camps, but I thought that they would try to dive our bot lane, so sometimes you can end up turning it around and get those kills for yourself. So we have a massive spike in AP right now, because we got that alternator that gives you that one-time burst, and then it goes on cooldown, so it's gonna help a lot for your all-ins. And we also have that blasting wand. When you use your ultimate, guys, keep in mind that it is a blink, so you can extend the range if you use it next to a wall and want to get to the other side. That's how you want to use it. Most of the time you want to be flanking, you know, use it behind them in the direction you think they will be escaping towards. Because it's gonna end up dealing a lot of damage, but you also have to make sure that they are staying within that circle, otherwise they can just get away without taking any damage whatsoever. So you want to combine all of your CC when doing it, guys. Super important that you time that fear with your ultimate, so you maximize the time that they take damage from all of your abilities. It is also super important that when you clear out the jungle, then you let that drain fully channel, because it is going to refund some of the cooldown on that ability. And if you accidentally cancel it while doing the jungle camps, then it is going to mess up your clear. Because it is going to refund 60% of the cooldown on that W right there, and that is so important in the early game. Super important, so make sure that you never cancel that channel. So it can look like an effigy if you do like this, just staying still for 2 seconds. That's gonna activate that Q passive as well, so the next ability is going to fear them. So we pretty much have a double fear on that Q, on the passive and the active as well. So we do have this amount of CC that we can use to lock down targets with. It is super unfortunate that the tower targeted the wrong people, but 6 did end up getting the kill with the ultimate, so it is alright. So now our ultimate is back up again. And this is why you always want to use the Sonya's or the stopwatch in your runes, guys, because it can end up saving your life. The thing is, your ultimate is going to place you right in the center of people, so you want to make sure that you have something defensive. And that's why the stopwatch comes in, and of course you're also going to get the Sonya's Hourglass right after the rocket belt. Just gonna keep playing. We do have the ultimate up, so we can look for a play. Just try to get people when they are pushed up a bit, and then you want to get a flanking position behind them, and then you ult towards the direction they will be escaping towards. So even if the flash or use some kind of dash ability, then they will still be caught in your ultimate. Getting a bit of CS here in the mid lane. I don't know why 6 was doing the skull crab, so we just exchanged the XP and gold, that's fine. Keep farming as well, make sure that you keep farming even if you have your ultimate up. You do not want to get behind. Always remember to do both camps at once. Super important to speed up your clear time. Whenever possible, always attempt to do this. You have so much sustain anyway that you never really have to worry about your HP, so always do this, and also always let that W fully channel so you get that cooldown refund so you can use it more often. So you can easily do the objectives. Of course, you can also do the Drake early on, but as I did mention, then be careful when you play against something like a Nuno, because he has guaranteed damage. He has a smite on his Q as well, so he can always steal away objectives if he is able to get within range of it. So you have to be careful against junglers like this, but otherwise you can actually sneak a lot of objectives early on. We ended up dying here, but our 6 is popping off. Fortunately, we did not manage to get the Herald in time, so Nuno is going to take away that one, so that does happen sometimes. That people randomly start checking, and then you will be pretty screwed, but our teammates are doing pretty well, so it is not too bad at all. But the rocket build is actually really strong on Fiddlesticks. Make sure that when you use your ultimate, then you also use that rocket build active right afterwards, so you get to gap close. Get that bonus movement speed as well, so you can catch up to people and make sure they don't run away. Just gonna keep clearing the camps. The skull crab is up as well. Of course, when it is the first strike, then you can't really contest it. Nuno is just superior early game. But the ones after that, then you should be able to do stuff because you do have your ultimate up. We're gonna keep maxing out the Q now. And then the E as the very last thing. So we are looking to do the dragon and the skull crab right here, but the bot lane is flanking us. So we just have to wait for our bot lane and they're gonna look for a really nice ultimate. Thing is, Israel can get away from the wall, of course, with a Z, arcane shift, so it's very hard to shut him down. But something like a Karma who doesn't really have any dashes or so, and so on, then it's very easy to look for a flanking position and get their kill. Still have that ultimate up, so if a fight starts, then we will be able to do a lot. Just be careful until you do get your Sonya's Hourglass, because that ultimate is going to place you right in the middle of the enemy team, and then they can also burst you down. So until you get that Sonya's Hourglass, then be careful and keep in mind how much burst damage they have. The thing is, Fiddlesticks doesn't really have a lot of burst damage. It's like a Cassiopeia where he deals a lot of damage over time, so a lot of the times your teammates will end up getting the kills over you. Especially something like a 6 who has a lot of burst damage. So you will end up with a lot of assists, but that is also fine. We had to flash right here because otherwise we would have ended up dying. They would just change CCS and then go for the kill. We are pretty squishy at this point as well with no Sonya's Hourglass, so it's a lot better to take the safe path. Our teammates ran it down in the mid lane. We need somebody to defend as well. Honestly, we are playing for that power spike, so of course that's a big power spike when you get your ultimate. But the bigger one is when you have the rocket build and the Sonya's Hourglass. Sonya's Hourglass is just used as that extra safety to buy yourself some time, and your ultimate will still be active while you pop that Hourglass, so it's gonna keep you alive while also making sure that you deal a lot of damage. Got that level 11, another point into that ultimate. And the damage is really gonna ramp up right now. Nuno's used the Rift Herald, probably running out. There's a bit of a wasted ultimate from the Nautilus. He does have the phase rush, so he can just run away. That's a bit unfortunate. We can just keep clearing the jungle here. And then we're gonna play around the objectives. So your ultimate is really good when people are doing objectives like the Dragon, the Rift Herald and the Baron. Because that's why when they really start grouping up, and that's when you get a really good flanking position. Get behind them, you can use that passive trinket to make sure that there's no vision. And even if there is, then it's gonna disable it after level 6, so you can use that to take out the vision with, and then you can get that really awesome ultimate off to finish off the entire team. We have enough gold for the Sonya's Hourglass, so we can go ahead and recall here. And this is a big power spike, because now we could run in with that ultimate straight into the enemy team. We can pop that Sonya's Hourglass active, and our ultimate will still keep running, dealing damage, while we are safe from any damage whatsoever. So these are the 2 core items that you should be getting every single game, and then anything after that is situational. If they buy magic resistance at this point, then you can get the watch staff, otherwise you can also go for damage heavy items like the rabbit or death cap. They do have a lot of options when it comes to itemization after the first 3 items. It's really good to place these effigies in the enemy jungle, because they tend to survive a lot if you place them at the right spots. And sometimes people also end up getting surprised, so maybe you'll be able to get out a very important ability or a summoner spell. That is a massive chain CC on the Katarina. We ended up getting the shutdown. 6 is sitting on all of the kills, but that does not matter because he's a scaling champion, so he's gonna do a lot once he gets the items he needs. We have the ultimate up once more, so we can look for another play. Unfortunately, we did not end up getting the Katarina with the ultimate before this, but this is a game-changing ultimate. You really want to be careful with how you use it in the later stages. Try to get multiple opponents at once. And you want to go for the carries, not the front line. You want to go for the carries and the squishy support, so you want to try to aim for the back line. So of course your Q and your E can break the shield on the Skull Crab, so super easy for you to do the Skull Crabs as well. Thing is, you do have the fear on the passive Q, so any ability is fine. Take down the Skull Crab. We're gonna focus down the objectives, that is super important. The objectives will help you close out the game squad, so now we have a maxed out Q as well. As you can see how useful that Scarecrow is, revealing those wards so you can take them out, make sure that they have no vision. And that's a super good 5-man ultimate right here, and that is how you want to use that Fiddlesticks ultimate. You want to surprise people, and Fiddlestick or 6 running away with the kills again, but that's all good. This is how you want to use the ultimate all the time. The more people you can hit, the better it is. Because if you manage to hit like 2, 3 or more people in a fight, then it's usually just one straight from there, because you're gonna CC them as well, and then they will end up taking a lot of damage. Even if they survive somehow, then they'll be super low HP. You really want to get these flanks, find those engages, the positions where people don't expect you to come from. You can also be patient. You don't have to spam your ultimate in a fight. Be patient and look for when the priority targets use their movement abilities, and once they use them, that's when you can go in. That's another decent ultimate. Of course, it would have been a lot better if we could hit all of them. But we did take down the enemy jungler and the support and AD carries, so we can go for the Baron. So overall, this is actually a pretty simple champion. You just need to know the basics of the early clear. You pretty much just spam your W, but you want to make sure that you know the right positions to stay in, so you can do 2 camps at once without one of the camps resetting. That is the only somewhat difficult part of playing Fiddlesticks. Other than that, you just farm for your level 6, and then you look for those good ultimates by flanking people, taking down vision, get that ultimate off, and most of the time it is going to end up with a kill. One more level and we are 16 with the final point into the ultimate. The super OP team fighting ability. We're also sitting on a lot of gold. The Void Staff, of course, insanely good if they are building MR or if they have beefy camps like the Nuno. Because the tanks, even with base stats, they are going to deny you some of the damage. But people are starting to build MR or they have MR. Israel has a lot of MR, Nuno also has. And the top lane as well, so Void Staff is the perfect item right now. Use that passive trinket to make sure there are no wards, and then you can go in with that ultimate. Just keep flying with that ultimate, and this is how you pick up these kills. Of course you are going to end up with a lot of assist because, as I said earlier on, you have damage over time, you don't have a lot of burst damage, so even though you have insane amount of damage, someone with burst damage has much higher chance of getting the kills. Just gonna perma CC people. You have some really nice CC, and that interrupting ability on E is also really nice. You can just keep pushing for the end right here, and we almost have the ultimate up as well, with the Sonya's also being ready, so we can look for another engage if we want to, if they're trying to turn it around. But this was the Fiddlesticks game, so I hope this was helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching and see you guys in the next one.